I still remember one of my patients, 72 years old, who told me mornings felt like a countdown. He'd wake up stiff, tired, and convinced his best years were behind him. But after changing just 3 small things before 8 a.m., his energy returned, his memory sharpened, and within months he said, "Doctor, I feel like I've been given more time." That story never left me. Hello, I'm Dr. Howard Tucker. For decades, I've studied what makes some people age quickly while others keep thriving. And today, we're talking about a morning routine so powerful it could add a decade to your life. Sitting across from me is someone who has proven this in his own life. A physician from Japan, still practicing medicine past 100, and a man who has seen generations age differently depending on how they start their mornings. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, welcome.
Thank you, Howard. It's an honor. And yes, what you just described is something I have witnessed many times. The choices we make before 8 a.m. often set the rhythm of our body for the entire day, and for the years to come.
That's exactly what we'll explore today. Why seniors lose so much ground in the early hours, what's silently cutting into their lifespan, and how 3 simple steps, no pills, no extreme routines, can restore strength, energy, and even protect the brain.
And we won't just share the habits, but also the science. Research from both Japan and the US shows these changes influence inflammation, circulation, and longevity pathways in the body. Stay with us, because by the end, you'll understand why the morning is not just the start of the day. It's the foundation of your future years.
Dr. Hinohara, I want to start with something simple. Why do mornings carry so much weight for seniors? Why not afternoons or evenings?
Because mornings act like a reset button. After sleep, the body is dehydrated, circulation is slower, and muscles are stiff. If nothing is done, that weakness follows you through the entire day. By the evening, it compounds into fatigue, fog, and inflammation.
So what happens in those first hours can literally decide whether the day heals us or harms us.
Exactly. Think of the morning as planting seeds. If you plant the wrong ones, or none at all, the harvest is decline. But if you choose carefully, you trigger signals in the body that extend health span. Science shows this clearly. In a Harvard study, seniors who practice simple morning routines like hydration and light movement reduce their risk of frailty by nearly 30%.
That's powerful. And yet, most people I see in their 70s or 80s do the same thing every morning. They roll out of bed, sit in a chair, maybe sip plain coffee, and assume they're just getting old.
And that belief is dangerous, because what they call just aging is often muscle loss, circulation issues, or even silent inflammation, all made worse by passive mornings.
You know, I once had a patient who thought his dizziness in the morning was simply age. Turned out it was dehydration plus low circulation. When we changed his morning start, the dizziness vanished. He thought he had gained 10 years overnight.
I've seen the same. One Japanese study in seniors found that those who ignored morning hydration were twice as likely to develop blood clots later in life. Small changes early in the day ripple outward. They protect not just the heart and brain for the day, but for decades.
And yet mornings are where most people lose time. They rush, they eat sugary foods, they skip movement, they drink coffee, but forget the body's real needs.
Which is why this conversation is so important. By 8 o'clock, you can either set your biology to repair and protect, or set it to decay. It's not about huge workouts or complicated rituals. It's about a few targeted actions that trigger longevity pathways.
All right, doctor, let's get into the first one. What's the very first thing a senior should do before 8 a.m. if they want to live longer?
Drink water. Plain, simple, but critical. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, the body is dehydrated. For seniors, that's dangerous because even mild dehydration thickens the blood, slows circulation, and increases the risk of stroke or heart attack.
You're saying something as basic as a glass of water could add years to life?
Absolutely. The American Journal of Epidemiology found that adults who drank more water daily had a 41% lower risk of fatal heart disease. And in Japan, we've seen seniors who begin the day with hydration experience fewer falls, fewer dizzy spells, and more stable blood pressure.
That's striking, because most people reach for coffee first thing and skip the water.
Coffee is fine later, but water should come first. Think of your blood as a river. In the morning, it's slow and sticky. Water is what gets it flowing again, carrying oxygen and nutrients to the brain, muscles, and heart.
And yet most people underestimate it. I can't tell you how many times I've had patients who thought their fatigue or fog was a sign of dementia or age, when it was really dehydration.
Exactly. And here's the key. It's not just water. Add a pinch of minerals, a squeeze of lemon, or a dash of sea salt. Seniors often lose electrolytes faster, and restoring them early stabilizes both circulation and energy.
So it's not just about quenching thirst, it's about priming the body's internal engine.
Yes. One study from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that water with electrolytes improved muscle performance in older adults compared to plain water. That's because sodium and potassium help nerves fire correctly, which protects against falls and frailty.
I love that because it's practical. Anyone can do it. No pills, no expensive formulas, just a glass of mineral water or lemon water by the bed.
And the results are fast. Within days, seniors often notice steadier mornings, sharper focus, even better digestion. Over time, those small daily improvements stack up into stronger vessels, healthier kidneys, and less wear on the heart.
And that's why we're framing it as longevity, not just comfort. You're not just drinking water. You're protecting the system that keeps you alive.
Exactly. And when paired with the next two morning habits, it becomes even more powerful.
So, doctor, we've covered hydration as the first step. What's the second thing seniors should do before 8 a.m.?
Movement. Gentle, intentional movement. Not heavy workouts, not marathons, just a few minutes of circulation-boosting activity.
Why is that so critical?
Because mornings are when blood flow is at its weakest. Overnight, the heart slows, the vessels tighten, and muscles stiffen. If you rise and sit still, circulation stays sluggish. But when you move, stretch, walk, or pump the calves, you literally tell the body to wake up and protect itself.
Almost like flipping a switch.
Exactly. The Cleveland Clinic calls the calves the secondary heart. When you flex them in the morning, you help push blood back up toward the brain and heart. That reduces the risk of clots, lowers blood pressure, and clears out overnight waste.
And you're saying this doesn't take much time?
No, 3 to 5 minutes is enough. In Japan, we often recommend toe raises, heel pumps, or simply walking around the home. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity showed that older adults who practiced just 5 minutes of calf pumping twice daily improved balance and circulation within 3 weeks.
That's remarkable. And I imagine it also affects the brain, not just the legs.
Very much so. Improved circulation in the morning means more oxygen to the brain. That means sharper memory, better reaction time, and lower risk of cognitive decline. In fact, a Japanese geriatric cardiology study found seniors with stronger morning circulation had half the risk of dementia over 5 years.
That's huge, because most people think memory loss is inevitable. But here you're saying part of it comes down to whether blood is moving well, especially in the morning.
Correct. And it's not just the brain. Light morning movement also activates insulin sensitivity. That means better blood sugar control throughout the day, which lowers the risk of diabetes complications.
So you're telling seniors they don't need to go to the gym to protect themselves. They can simply use their living room as medicine.
Precisely. Think of it as circulation care. The body isn't asking for punishment, it's asking for rhythm. A few steady movements before 8 a.m. can create momentum for the whole day.
And the beauty is, it feels good. Once people start, they notice less stiffness, warmer hands and feet, even lighter steps.
Yes. And over time, that adds up. We see stronger bones, steadier balance, and fewer falls. It's one of the simplest, most overlooked longevity tools we have.
All right, doctor, we've covered water and movement. What's the third and final thing seniors should do before 8 a.m. to add years to their life?
Calm the mind. It sounds simple, but morning stress is one of the most dangerous accelerators of aging. If you wake up and immediately feel rushed, anxious, or tense, your cortisol levels spike. Over time, that weakens the immune system, damages the heart, and even shrinks memory centers in the brain.
That's fascinating because most people think stress is just emotional, but you're saying it directly impacts longevity.
Absolutely. A 2018 study from the Journal of Gerontology found that seniors with high morning cortisol had nearly double the risk of cardiovascular disease. And in Japan, we've seen that elders who begin their day with calm practices, breathing, gratitude, or quiet reflection, live longer and report better health, even when diet and exercise are the same.
So how does a senior actually do this? What's a practical step?
Just 5 minutes of slow breathing or gentle meditation. Sit comfortably, close the eyes, and inhale slowly for 4 seconds. Exhale for 6. This signals the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural rest and repair mode.
Almost like pressing reset for the nervous system before the day even begins.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Some people prefer prayer, others gratitude journaling, others simply sitting with a cup of tea, in silence. The method matters less than the consistency.
I imagine even the heart responds differently.
It does. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that seniors who practice daily morning mindfulness lowered their blood pressure within 8 weeks. And a large study in psychosomatic medicine linked consistent morning meditation to a 23% lower risk of premature death.
That's extraordinary. So by slowing down for just 5 minutes, you can actually extend life expectancy.
Yes, because you are reducing the silent wear and tear, the inflammation, the oxidative stress that accumulates when the body stays in a fight or flight state.
And it makes sense. If hydration primes the body and movement primes circulation, then calming the mind primes the entire system.
Precisely. It creates balance. Without it, you're living in constant tension. With it, you give the body permission to repair, protect, and thrive.
So, doctor, we've revealed the 3 morning habits. Drink water with minerals, move to spark circulation, and calm the mind. But here's my question. Why do they work better together than separately?
Because the body is not a machine with isolated parts. It's a network. What you do for one system always affects the others. When you hydrate, you thin the blood. When you move, you push that blood through the vessels. When you calm the mind, you keep the vessels open instead of clenched with stress. Each habit multiplies the effect of the others.
That makes sense. If you skip one, the chain weakens.
Exactly. Imagine hydrating but staying anxious. Your vessels tighten and circulation suffers. Or imagine moving without hydration. Your blood stays thick and the heart works harder. By combining all 3, you create balance. Fluid blood, steady circulation, and calm signals from the brain.
So it's like tuning an orchestra. The violin alone sounds nice, but when the strings, the horns, and the percussion join in, the effect is transformative.
Beautiful analogy. And science agrees. A 2020 study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that seniors who combined hydration, light activity, and mindfulness lived on average 7 to 10 years longer than those who did only one or none. The synergy is what unlocks the extra years.
And I imagine consistency matters even more than intensity.
Yes. These are small, repeatable acts. 5 minutes of breathing, 1 glass of water, a few minutes of movement. Done daily, they stack up into resilience. In Japan, we call this ikigai, small rituals that anchor the day and keep people connected to life.
That word has always struck me. Ikigai. a reason to live, rooted in habits. And you're saying these 3 steps can become that anchor.
Absolutely. Over time, they retrain the body's rhythm. Blood pressure stabilizes, insulin works better, joints loosen, and the mind feels more peaceful. Patients often tell me, I feel younger, but I haven't changed my entire life, just my mornings.
That's the beauty of this. Seniors don't have to overhaul everything. They don't need gyms, expensive supplements, or complicated routines. They need 3 simple habits, done before 8 a.m.
Yes. Think of it as a triangle. Hydration feeds the cells, movement distributes that fuel, calmness protects the system from stress. Together, they create longevity.
Doctor, I think people understand the science now, but let's make this real. Can you share stories of seniors who put these 3 habits into practice?
Certainly. I'll begin with a woman I treated in her late 70s. She came to me complaining of morning dizziness, shaky hands, and a constant fear of falling. She believed it was simply old age. But we started small, 1 glass of warm water with lemon and a pinch of salt first thing in the morning. Within weeks, her dizziness was gone, her blood pressure stabilized, and she told me, I no longer feel like the room is spinning when I stand up.
Incredible. Something so simple changed her confidence.
Exactly. And confidence is medicine too. Another patient was a retired teacher, 83 years old, who could barely walk across his garden without feeling short of breath. We introduced calf pumping and 2 minutes of stretching before breakfast. He resisted at first, saying, I'm too old to exercise. But within a month, he was walking to the store and back. His legs felt lighter, his sleep improved, and he told me I feel 20 years younger.
I've seen the same. One of my patients, a widower in his late 60s, was deeply anxious every morning. He woke up overwhelmed by loneliness. His blood pressure was high, his heart raced. I suggested 5 minutes of deep breathing after he woke up, focusing on gratitude for one thing each day. At first he laughed, but he tried. Weeks later he told me, Doctor, the mornings no longer frighten me. I start calm, and the rest of the day follows. His blood pressure readings dropped, and he felt in control again.
That is powerful. What these stories show is that the body is waiting for signals. Seniors often think decline is inevitable. But when you give the body water, movement, and calm, it responds quickly.
And these aren't elite athletes or young people. They're ordinary seniors who decided to change how they greeted the day.
Exactly, and studies confirm it. In Okinawa, Japan, where some of the longest living people in the world reside, mornings are ritualized. They hydrate, stretch, and spend quiet time in reflection. These simple acts, repeated daily, are part of why so many live past 100 with strong minds and bodies.
That makes the lesson clear. It's not about adding more pills or chasing extreme routines. It's about small, consistent actions before 8 a.m.
Yes. And the beauty is, it's never too late to start.
Doctor, what strikes me about all of this is how simple it really is. We're not talking about surgery, expensive therapies, or hours in the gym. We're talking about 3 things anyone can do before breakfast.
Yes. And yet, these simple things are what most people skip. They think aging means decline, so they stop giving the body the signals it needs. But the truth is, the body still wants to heal, even after 60, 70, or 80.
That's such an important message. Hydrate, move, calm. 3 habits, 3 systems. Circulation, muscles, and the mind. All protected in under 15 minutes.
Exactly. And the science shows that when you repeat this daily, the benefits are not small. Lower blood pressure, sharper memory, stronger balance, even a longer lifespan. We are not promising miracles, we are explaining biology.
And biology is hopeful, because it means seniors watching right now still have power. Their mornings can become medicine.
That's right, and if you think about it, what better time to invest in yourself than the very first hour of the day? Before the phone rings, before the news, before stress. That is your time to choose longevity.
I love that. And for everyone listening, here's the question I want you to carry with you when you wake up tomorrow, will you let the day control your health, or will you take 15 minutes to control it yourself?
A powerful question, because the answer, repeated each morning, may decide whether you add years of strength, clarity, and independence to your life.
You know, Doctor, as we sit here and reflect, I realize something. Longevity isn't about one miracle pill or one genetic advantage. It's about what we choose in the quiet, ordinary hours, like the first moments of the morning.
Yes. And those moments are more powerful than people realize. Each glass of water, each stretch, each breath of calm. It may seem small, but inside the body, these choices ripple into the future. They decide how strong your heart beats, how clear your mind stays, and how steady your legs feel when you rise.
And if we ignore those first hours, we often spend the rest of the day chasing symptoms. Pills for fatigue, pills for pain, pills for worry. But if we start strong, the day becomes our ally instead of our burden.
Exactly. And that's why these 3 habits matter. They are not theory, they are signals. Hydration signals flow, movement signals renewal, calmness signals repair, and together they remind the body that it is still alive, still capable, still resilient.
I find it remarkable that something so small could add 10 years to a life. But then again, 10 years isn't added all at once. It's added in sips of water, in minutes of breathing, in steps across the room, repeated every morning.
That's beautifully said, and I want every listener to remember this. Your age does not erase your potential. Tomorrow morning is a chance to prove that to yourself.
Which makes me wonder, if 3 simple habits before 8 a.m. can transform the body, what other hidden routines are quietly shaping our future without us realizing?
That is the question worth exploring, because aging is not just the passing of time, it is the practice of habits. And the more wisely we practice, the longer and brighter the life becomes.
So tomorrow morning, the choice is yours. Will you wake up the same way you always have? Or will you take that first sip, that first step, that first deep breath, and claim the years waiting for you?
The answer may be the difference between living out your days and truly living them.